And we are live with the North Shore Resurrections. We have the OG Resurrections, we have the OR Resurrections, which are the Oregon Resurrections, and we're honored and grateful to be doing a church service for Clearlake Unity Center for Spiritual Living, and a lot's in my heart, and I'll be talking to the congregation before this plays on a Zoom call on Easter morning. But yeah, there's some sweetness here that I'll talk about. And as usual, our service is what I like to call music-centric. That means a lot of the messages are encoded in the songs, and we're going to start with, I think of this as a congregational song, because whenever I'm there at Clear Lake, we do this as our joy song, and it's Shiva Shambo. We encourage you out there in Cyberland to sing along, raise your voice in song. Each part repeats itself in the Northern Indian style, and a lot of you know this, and those who don't, it's easy to sing along. We'll start it slow, and then we'll kick it up. Shiva Shambo, Shiva Shambo. Again, Shiva Shambo, Shiva Shambo. The second part goes, Shiva, Shiva, Shiva Shambo. Shiva Shambo. Again. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva Shambo. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva Shambo. The third part goes, Mahadeva Shambo. Mahadeva Shambo. Oh, Mahadeva Shambo. Shiva Wake you up on Easter morning, we trust. Actually, in this very room, on Shivaratri, we chanted quite a long time that night. It's traditional to chant all night. We went pretty late for Maui standards. And the next day, I was doing some work with a guy over on my property, and my left foot, the bottom of it was sore, and I was like, well, that's it. She said, things are breaking down, what's going on? Then I realized I'd been pounding on the floor for 3 hours with that foot, and that's what happened. I might have loosened up one of those plywood pieces. All right, what do we have for number 2? Oh, we love this song. It's called The Healing Has Begun, and it is one of the many wonderful songs that Van Morrison has blessed us with. As papers go flying, as Hawaiian breezes are blowing, lucky us. I'm going to clamp these down a little bit so they stay put. Okay, the healing has begun. GCD, gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, and... In your heart. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you, Van Morrison. I often have, in the past, have used him as an example of building self-esteem, or realizing that what other people think of you has nothing to do with the reality. Van, for many years, was paralyzed by horrible stage fright. And if you look at his talent and his voice and his musicianship, there was no good reason for that. But you can't, what we used to say, you can't compare your outsides to someone else's insides, or vice versa. So we're grateful for all the gifts. The Bard of Belfast, he's sometimes called, a Northern Ireland boy, a lad from the north. Okay. This next tune is called In Each of Us a Strength is Born. And I wrote this, I think I wrote it last year, but I'm not sure. I have to go back in the logs and check. And it's a Creaster song. Christmas and Easter combined. Creaster, I made that up. And I feel very blessed not only to be welcomed into Donnie's Regal and Heather Salmon's beautiful studio, but to be making music with these two brothers I've known for many years. And I just wasn't able to get back to Southern Oregon due to spring break and tickets, so I'll be back there around Easter, but this is being recorded in the beautiful, soft, sweet energy of the North Shore. That we all live very close to each other, which is blessed. Christmas time, at Easter too, the sun has arisen in each of us. Our strength is born through the gifts we're given. Oh, once again, at Easter time, the light is returning, and in each of us, a strength is born from our deepest yearning. 1, 2, 3, together. The wonders of this love, each moment full of glory. It's like a life you've been dreaming of, such a beautiful story. It's like a life you've been dreaming of. It's such a beautiful story. In each of us, a strength is born. Thank you, gentlemen. I'll take this opportunity to introduce the North Shore Resurrections, the NSR. On my left is, I don't like to say old friend because people will say, how old is he? He is a longtime friend. Joel has been a delightful presence in my life. Many years ago, he played with Jagadambe, our Motown mantra band. I think he played traps and primarily played traps.
And bass.
And bass, yeah. He's a man of many talents, and it's a delight to connect more deeply with Joel Shankar on bass guitar tonight. And behind me, and we're the benefit of his generosity and hospitality tonight in his beautiful yoga studio, he and his partner / wife, Heather Salmon, do a lot of yoga retreats and sound healings and all kinds of cool stuff. And I think Donnie played with us a couple times in Jagadambe too back in the day. And thank you for hosting us tonight and providing cables and mic stands and all kinds of good stuff. Thank you. Donnie Regal behind us. Do you want to be Regal or Regal Muto?
Either one works.
Either one? He's Regal or Regal Muto?
Regal's my pizza name.
Oh, there you go.
My stage.
Stage name. Well, thank you, gentlemen. We're going to do a song now, Bingy Time, One Bright Morning, and I want to, and I'm going to address this in the Zoom call with the congregation beforehand. I've been reflecting on, we're going to do a song that honors Jim Conlin, and we'll get to that because for me, that's very special. Jim, who played for many years at Unity Clearlake. But this is also specifically to honor Hank Porter, who was just a delight. I would cajole him into singing. I mean, the first time we were doing some congregational song, it might have been Leaning on the Everlasting Arms, a cappella, and I heard this beautiful, rich baritone coming from the back. I said, "You, come on up here." And he was very good-natured. He wasn't all that comfortable being in the spotlight, but he did it. And every time I was there in the church, Hank came and he lent his voice and his unique, dry sense of humor. And I am thinking of you tonight, brother, on Easter morning. And this one is for you. This is actually a 1930s gospel song that has become very popular among the Rastaman. And it's called One Bright Morning, and it explains itself. For those who are going to sing, here's our note. I should get the lyrics while I'm talking about it. Yeah. Shake it, don't break it.
One bright morning.
All right, you want to start us, Bingy Boy? I'll never call you that again. Thank you. One bright morning, when our work is over, we'll fly away home. One bright morning, when our work is over, we'll fly away home. Send in your love, Hank. One bright morning, when our work is over, we'll fly away home. We're saying, fly away home to Zion, fly away home. Yeah. One bright morning, when our work is over, yes, we'll fly away home. One bright morning, when our work is over, we'll fly away home. Hear the angel. Hear the angel with the seven seas. Babylon, your throne gone down, gone down. Babylon, your throne gone down. Hear the angel with the seven seas. Babylon, your throne gone down, gone down. Babylon, your throne gone down. One bright morning, when our work is over, we'll fly away home. One bright morning, when our work is over, we'll fly away home. One bright morning, when our work is over, we shall fly away home. We'll fly away to Zion, fly Blessings on your journey, Hank Porter. We love you. We appreciate you. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the illusion of death later. Thank you, gentlemen. That was nice. Thank you, Joel, on the bingy. Well, it's interesting because Hank really liked this song. It's in my heart tonight. This is a song by an artist named Kirtana. I'm going to get a drink of water before I continue. Keep it going, Donnie. I'm going to flip the page. Thank you, brother. Used to like to read the poems of Rumi. I did not have a clue what he meant when he said, beloved friend, until I met you. Until I met you. And now I know why the Sufis just the literal truth. Only literal truth. And you don't need to be a Christian mystic. Oh, born under a lucky star. You only need to be still and ask who you are. Be still and ask who you are. Oh, to know the sound of one hand clapping. Don't need to read Lao Tzu. Just look around, this is the sound. Can you hear it too? Oh, can you hear it too? One hand clapping, one heart singing, one being, me and you, only one. Unmoving ocean where many waves pass through. Where many waves pass through. Don't need to be a Zen Buddhist. Here's the heart of this here mystery. You only need to be willing to stop and see. See what is still and free. Oh, you don't need to be a whirling dervish. Study scripture or travel far. You only need to be still and ask who you are. Be still. Know who you are. Be still and know who you are. Be still and know who you are. Thank you. There's a beautiful soft rain falling outside, which helps our soundtrack immensely. It's just delightful. Thank you, gentlemen. That was just beautiful. Well, it's Easter time. Part of Easter to me is like, if our band is called the Resurrections, we have to get the Easter gigs. I mean, who else? And for many years, I realized that everyone in the band had had a pretty significant near-death experience. And as it's gone on to 4 or 5 different iterations, we told people that if you have not had a near-death experience and you want to be in the band, we can arrange one for you.
Very generous.
Thank you. We're here to please. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Hi. We're recording a church service. I don't know if you do that or not.
Yeah. You're actually recording?
We are. Yeah. Yeah. We don't have too much more to go. Another 15 minutes maybe. So, really feeling the presence of Hank Porter, who left his body. Oh gosh, I don't know. Time has an interesting feeling everywhere for me, but particularly on Maui. So I'm not. It was a little bit back, had quite a talk with Barbara, and when people die or drop their body, as we like to say in the metaphysical world, or as some of the Hawaiian teachers say, they're not gone, they just changed their dress. And having done a lot of study and experientially and otherwise about people who leave their bodies, it's been very interesting to me the period right after they leave. And death has sort of become popular. It's certainly...
It's inevitable.
I don't know if it's inevitable. I really question that, but I think it's, and I don't talk to a lot of people about this, but hey, we're in the Unity Church service. What have I got to lose? That I really do believe that we are capable, the human body, of raising the vibration and living for incredibly extended periods, as did Ezekiel, Elijah, and many other adepts. But as one of my teachers used to say, some purification is required if you want to go there. And I think that is of service. And recently, a very great soul and a master musician. What could you add about David Lindley, Joel?
Completely unique person and musician.
That's a lot coming from Joel, who doesn't overstate things. David Lindley was a very interesting soul. And one of the things I noticed when someone passes, all of these great pieces of tape that we haven't seen for years have come forth on the internet and deepened, speaking for myself, my experience of David Lindley in a profound way. And I was listening to a podcast by this guy I'd never heard of, and he had 4 hours of interview with Lindley, and you could see Lindley was just brightening up that here's somebody asking intelligent, potent questions. One of the questions that he asked was, well, how do you maintain your spiritual frequency, and what do you do to bring that to the stage? I'm like, yes! I thought he was a brilliant interviewer because he was asking questions that I would have asked. So that just showed his great intelligence and resources. But in that process of, a lot of people are saying, we've lost him, and there's certainly a loss that's there. But my experience of many souls that depart is their presence actually expands. And the musicianship and the music that Lindley, for example, left us with, the love, the works that we have left behind, they're not gone. They're even more potent. And in my experience of death, both personal and family-wise, I've discovered that there's a wonderful book by Sogyal Rinpoche called The Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, not the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And what he does in this book, the Tibetans, in my opinion anyway, have done the deepest and most potent work on what happens when you die. What happens when you die? And I put my own embellishments on this. And one of the things, and in the book, just to kind of complete that circle, in the book, what Sogyal Rinpoche did is he took the deep Buddhist teachings about the bardos, the gates that you go through after you drop a body, and he compared that with the experiences and the information that people from the near-death experience, the NDE community. And of course, it's a template fit because it's spiritual truth. So one of the things that happens, and this has been well documented, and you can look at all the videos and statements that you want about this, but it matches up. So one of the first things that happens is you go, and there's some other details I'm not going to go into about, who's your guide to the other side, but you get there, and I've added the embellishment of there's a desk there is it's a bureaucracy of some sort. They're keeping track of the soul, so there's got to be some filing cabinets, some desks. So at the desk, but the question that you're asked does not vary. It's a very simple, very potent question. They already know the answer, and the question is, what have you done to help humanity? Wow. And you can't, fudge it. They already know. So when I was studying this more deeply, I was like, mental note, move that program up on my agenda. Don't wait till the end to make a donation on your deathbed. Well, it's interesting because I was talking to Joel when I came back on the island. I was like, wow, this movie, Defending Your Life, which it's a little dated, but it's really, it's deeply potent spiritually, and it's funny. It has Albert Brooks and Meryl Streep in it. I think she's sort of underused in the film, but that's another story. And I was talking to Joel. I said, this film, Defending Your Life. And Joel looks at me and goes, I have the DVD. And I borrowed it from, I hadn't watched it in years. So, a shout out to Defending Your Life. It speaks to the same kind of thing I was just speaking of in a more humorous way. And in the Hindu theology, you keep coming back until you get this right. You keep redoing this. Like another one of my favorite movies, which I watch every February 2nd, is Groundhog Day, which is a great example of karma. You keep coming back until you get it right. And what we leave behind is basically the love that we share. So we have a little bit more wonderful music to share with you. And again, I'm grateful to be benefit of yours and Heather's hospitality, and it's a great chance to get the ball rolling with you two and have fun playing. I mean, last time we played at Shivaratri, I was going out the door, and you leaned over to me, Donnie, and said, "More music."
Word.
All right, word, yeah. All right, so we just did the Sufis. We're in Hawaii. Danny Kennedy's great song. It's time for Aloha, bras. The Aloha is upon us. So, I wanted to give a little Hawaiian flavor since we're offering this from the North Shore. This song, I think I heard it on the radio the first time. It was a Hoku winner, which is like the Hawaiian Grammys, Oscars all combined. It's a great honor. This was a #1 record here many years ago. And it was written by a bass player from Mana'o and Company. What does Mana'o mean? Either of you know?
Ideas.
Flow, ideas. Mana'o, like Mana'o Radio. Danny Kennedy wrote this song, and it begins with a Hawaiian chant that E na lima pono na lima pono which means, by the right hands, the work shall be done. And I recently, it's funny, I'm just thinking about death, talking about it. Recently went to a great memorial, a celebration of life for Mark Sheehan. And his partner, his widow, was talking in a very, very powerful way about the challenges. She didn't talk about, there was a lot of that, and she shared some of that, but what a great soul Mark Sheehan was, and a quick shout out to him. Without Mark Sheehan and his cohorts, there would not be a Makena State Park, straight up. And she talked about that they had a soul contract, and I think that's true. So by the right hands, may the work will be done. By the right hands, the work shall be done. How I take that is, sometimes we get an assignment that we may not like. My assignment is this person, this place, I'm to support you. I don't want to, but it's clear that that's our assignment. That's our soul contract. we're not getting out of it. And there's a great beauty to that. Okay. E na lima pono e na lima pono e. Go up a little. E na lima pono e. Nice. E na lima pono e. 1, 2. Braka kung kung. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Danny Kennedy, for channeling that great song. We have two more for you. This one, at Joel's behest, we had a little epiphany party where we played this, and Joel goes, let's do the Beloved song. And this is actually titled, we all call it the Beloved song, but it's called Every Life, and it's by a wonderful artist who I believe still lives in Lake County, but he was part of the big wave of sannyasins, Rajneeshis, Osho devotees that lived on Makena Beach for many years, and his name is Peter Makena. And I just love his music. If you ever see him playing in your area, he does play sometimes at Harbin in the Temple. He tours quite a lot in Europe. Please go see him. You will not be disappointed. He does just what I love to do, and he's been an inspiration to me. He gets big groups of people singing multiple parts. Thank you, and thank you, Peter Makena. All right, we have one more for you, and this one, I'm writing a new Easter song, which is just about done. I woke up in the middle of the night last night. In my dream, I wrote another verse, and I woke up and wrote it down, and somehow Jim Conlin came into my heart and mind. Both you and Donnie knew Jim, Heather, from Harbin.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, and Jim was a seminal member. He's a lot of people didn't know this. He was a pro-level keyboard player and a pro-level drummer. And I haven't done this song in many years because it's a keyboard song, and it was written by the only white writer in Motown. Nice, nerdy Jewish guy, and Barry Gordy got some pressure from his staff. How come you got a white guy on the staff? He goes, the only color I see is green. He writes good songs. Ron Miller co-wrote this. He wrote Place in the Sun. He wrote For Once in My Life. He wrote Yester Me, Yester You, Yesterday. Wrote Someday at Christmas. Phenomenal songwriter. And I realized that I'd sort of shut down around this song because it's a keyboard song, and I realized, hey, I bet you Donnie could play this. So we worked up a version of A Place in the Sun. This was written for Stevie Wonder, who had a huge hit with it when he was 16 years old. If you listen to it on YouTube, you cannot believe this young man is 16 years old, but that's when he was still called Little Stevie Wonder. Okay. Before our want to find us a place in the sun. Take us to that place, gentlemen. In the sun, where there's hope for everyone, where our pure, restless hearts have to run. There's a place in the sun, and before our lives are done, we will find us a place in the sun. Tag that, gentlemen. Yeah. We will find us a place in the sun. Here we go. We will find us a place in the sun. One more. Here we go. We will find us a place in the sun. Find us a place in the sun. Yeah. Very nice. We are in no danger of over-rehearsing. Let's just put it that way. Thank you so much. And I could really feel Jim's spirit. Thank you for bringing the keys. I've not played that many years, so it's a bit of a resurrection for me with that song. And I could really feel Jim's loving presence. And I wanted to bring that to the congregation again. And I realized I had a little contraction there about not doing that song, and something released in me around that. And I'm grateful for your help. And grateful to Unity Clearlake Center for Spiritual Living for inviting us back again for Easter, and Christmas is our tradition. Thank you very much, and happy Easter.
Aloha.
Aloha, yeah, thanks.